morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Thursday morning. As always, a coffee kind of morning. Second time I've done this video, or third time. Every time I mention one person's name, I sneeze. I get the Glen Kellaway sneeze, and that's who I was mentioning. My good friend Glen Kellaway from the basement. As I wanted to show you my Grateful Dead collection. I'm no expert at this band whatsoever, unlike my good friend Mr. Glen Kellaway from the basement. Twice I mentioned his names, twice I sneezed. They got the Glen Kellaway sneeze going on. Yeah, I wanted to share with my Grateful Dead collection with you. Again, no expert. I'm still discovering this band, so I'm just going to show you the albums. I'm not going to talk a lot about each album because I don't know them well enough to do that. So I admittedly going to tell you that right up front. I've got so much to listen to. I'm not focusing 100% on this band as I should, and I will. I'll get there, and I can start to review some of these fantastic albums from this amazing band, the Grateful Dead, or Grateful Dead. Sorry, Grateful Dead. Formed in Palo Alto, California in 1965. Again, Glen Kellaway's favorite band of all time. You've got a combination of rock and blues and jazz and folk and country and bluegrass and rock and roll, gospel, reggae, world music, all blended in with psychedelia. That makes up Grateful Dead. Known for their live performances, their jam performances, their fans known as the Deadheads. They were formed during the counterculture of the 60s. You've got the amazing Jerry Garcia on lead guitar and vocals, Bob Weir on rhythm guitar and vocals, Ron Pigpen, McKernan on keyboards, harmonica and vocals, and Phil Lesh on bass guitar and vocals, and Bill Kreutzmann on drums. That was the original founding members of the band. Mickey Hart came in on the second album as the second drummer. So it's kind of cool that they had two drummers going on. It's remarkable. Multiple drummers. I think of King Crimson with their three drummers. How do you keep track? It's just remarkable. Rolling Stones ranked these guys in 2004 as the 57th greatest artists of all time out of 100. These also, the Grateful Dead, sorry, I keep on saying the Grateful Dead. Grateful Dead has performed over 2,300 concerts in their career. That's just remarkable. Between 65 and 95, they've released 13 studio albums and 9 live albums. Now, it seems like there's an endless supply of live albums and compilation albums and box sets and you name it. It's just an endless supply of music. I'm sure there's 100 duplicates out there within those sets, but who cares? I want them in my collection eventually. I know Glen's got a huge collection of the band, and that's fantastic. But here you go. Right off the bat, this is a reissue of their debut album, 1967, Grateful Dead. This was recorded live in the studio, but the band felt they didn't do they were still learning, they were still growing, and the band felt they didn't do that great of a job. I think it's fantastic myself. You've got, this one has two different CDs. One, the studio version, and disc 2 is the P&E Garden Auditorium in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, July 29th and 30th, 1966. Live performance. There's 17 tracks on that one. The original album has 9 tracks. Not much in the booklet. There's a couple of photos, but the rest are just reading material. There's a nice picture of the band there. Very pleasant picture. They look happy. And then there's one in the middle here. Here it is. Where they're jamming away, rocking away. But very young looking band at the time. Yeah, cool stuff. Great debut album. Great debut album. And this one sounds fantastic. Their second album, Anthem of the Sun. This is a reissue. This one is a 2018 reissue of this amazing album. I love the cover. All their covers are cool. This was the first album to feature Mickey Hart as a second drummer. Kind of blending between studio and live performances on this one. They also brought in prepared pianos, kazoos, harpsichords, trumpets, and griot. I'm not sure what that is, that is. But it was kind of an experiment to blend the live performances and studio performance together. So it's neither a true studio album or a true live album. It's a combination of both. But I've kept the hype sticker on here. This is the 50th anniversary of the amazing second album. And just beautiful black vinyl on the Warner Brothers label. I love it. Love the cover. Fantastic stuff. This was a fairly new one to me. Oxo Moxo O. Oyo. Weird title that doesn't really mean anything. But again, a beautiful, beautiful cover. The third studio album, 1969 original release. This is a 2020 remaster. One of the first rock albums to record on a 16-track technology. Again, the title doesn't mean anything. It's just something that the band made up. But if you stare at it long enough, apparently it's like you being on acid. That's what. It's the only release that had Tom Constantine on piano, who became official member of the band, and the first also to have lyricist Robert Hunter, who wrote with Jerry Garcia and the rest of the band. You've got acoustic tracks on here that weren't on the other albums, like Mountains of the Moon, Rosemary, and Dupree's Diamond Blues. And again, this is the best album cover, or the 8th best album cover, voted by Rolling Stone in 1991. And this made the top 1,000 album list at 674 of Colin Larkin's album list. A beautiful album. Beautiful album. You've got the next one, the fourth album, Working Man's Dead, with this cool holograph cover. I think it's cool. Pardon me. Released originally in 1970. This is a 2020 reissue. Ranked 262 in Rolling Stone's 500 greatest albums of all time. Kind of more of a folk rock album. And the songs kind of reflect the old weird Americana stuff on here. But a beautiful album. It's the original album and then 2 live albums on here. Recorded at the Capitol Theater, Port Chester, New York in 1971. Yeah, this is a great album. Really, really good. Sounds so good. And again, I love that cover. I love that cover. Cool stuff. The 5th album, American Beauty. Kind of a continuation of the folk and Americana style music on this one. Some country music in this one as well. This one hit platinum right off the bat. Double platinum, actually. You got fusions of bluegrass and rock and roll and folk and country music. More traditional Americana stuff on this one. And less lead work from Jerry Garcia. I've kept the hype sticker as well. And yeah, this is another great album. There's the back cover. Awesome stuff. And then the sixth album, Wake of the Flood. Kind of a nice embossed album cover again. 1973 original release. This one unfortunately didn't have Ron Pigpen McKernan on there, who had recently passed away. Keith Godchaux replaced him, but this one is cool as well. The double CD. In this one, you've got the original album, a couple of bonus tracks, and then on disc 2 is Macaw Memorial Hall, Northwestern University, Evanston, Illinois, in 1973. There's 8 tracks on that one. Donna Goodchuck's on this one as well as Keith Godchaux. As she's on here also. And yeah, this is a 2023 reissue on this one. Again, with that nice embossing on the cover. And then going up to, from the 6th album, I'm missing a bunch in between. This is the 10th album. This was a fairly new release for me as well, or a new purchase for me. This is Shakedown Street. The 10th album, again, 1978, original release. Yeah, that beautiful black vinyl. The last album for Keith and Donna. Donna Jean Godchaux. Is that how you pronounce them? And this one was produced by Lowell George of Little Feat. More of a pop and rock and blues and rock and disco, some funky stuff on this one. It came with a nice little hype sticker in the back. Just the the funky guy there in the green. He looks like what was that? What was that movie? I can't remember now. You got Good Love in France, Shakedown Street, Serengeti, Fire in the Mountain, I Need a Miracle, From the Heart of Me, Stagger Lee, All New Minglewood Blues, Never Had the World to Give. Yeah. Awesome stuff. And I also have the 12th album. This is In the Dark, 1987 original release. This is a 2022 reissue. This is on beautiful purple vinyl. Touch of Grays on this one. They're huge hit. Hell in a Bucket, When Push Comes to Shove, West LA Fade Away, Tons of Steel, Throwing Stones, Black Muddy Water. Yeah. This has again another hype sticker on there. The Dead's late era hit album feature Touch of Grey and Hell in a Bucket. Lacquer's cut from the original master tapes and pressed on exclusive 180 gram paint by numbers Morning Sky vinyl. Beautiful, beautiful album. There's some nice photos of the band as well. And happy to have this one in my collection. This one sounds really, really good. That's it for studio albums. And then I have a couple of compilation albums as well. I've got the Arista years, Grateful Dead's studio and live albums during their time with Arista Records. 2 CD and 2 cassette tapes in the original 1996 release. You got Terrapin Station, Shakedown Street, Go to Heaven, Reckoning, Dead Set, In the Dark, Built to Last and Without a Net. Cool. This one opens up like you can get some You can get some merch on this one as well. But there's a cool photo of the fans. So I've got that one. Cool stuff. And finally, this is it's called an 8 CD super box, full of live music. You've got recordings selected from bands' live performances, radio broadcasts in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. All their greatest hits on here. There's the CDs there. I mean, this probably could be everything that you would need from the Dead, but I'm not going to stop there for sure. But I love those photos in there as well. Cool photos. But yeah, you've got Let the Good Times Roll, Jack Straw, Promised Land, Feel Like a Stranger, They Love Each Other, Sadie, Monkey and the Engineer, Cassidy, Casey Jones, I Need a Miracle, you name it. There's the track listings there. Tons and tons and tons of music. Each album has 10, 11, 12 tracks on it. So yeah, nice little box set. So there's my Grateful Dead collection. Again, I'll talk more about these guys as time goes by, as I get deeper into them. But it's just a cool thing to show you today. Have yourself a great rest of the day. Love you all. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.